What makes someone a loser? A bitterness and hatred set in their own lack of achievement, but they blame it on external circumstances. And rather than either accept and be happy with their position, or try harder, they complain. So it's not losing that makes someone a loser. It's their reaction to losing. Being so afraid of failure that you never even try. Worse is when they confuse never trying with never failing. Looking at you. 98% of Reddit. Being so afraid of failure that you never even try. Wow, this hit home. I'm 25 years old and honestly I think this has kept me from pursuing a lot of things in life. Even relationships. The guy would be perfect, but I was so afraid of hypothetical heartbreak that I stopped myself from getting in a relationship with high monsieur even when it comes to jobs. I fear promotions because I'm afraid I won't live up to expectations, and often meet them with hesitance when the average person would be excited. Ugh. Sorry for the therapy session. This just resonated too close for me to ignore. Revving their engine really loudly in a quiet neighborhood. At 2 a.m. monsieur. Victimize themselves to manipulate others. Spending hours on Reddit when you're supposed to be working from home. Skeptical smiley face. Can't be me. They treat people badly. A total lack of motivation to improve their situation. Yet they still whine and complain about how bad things are. If your situation is bad, do something about it. Nobody is going to fix your problems for you. Get off your ass. Put on your big boy, girl pants, and learn to approach things like an adult. Our boomer advice. Just pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Someone who posts 15+ selfies a day for validation. 14 is okay. Asking for a friend. They said 15+, therefore the limit is 14. Lifetime of bad decisions. Constantly calling other people losers for his/her mistake. Constantly brag how they are amazing at eggs even though everyone sees they are failing. And bragging about how they're so amazing at X that they feel it necessary to boast themselves better than people who also succeeded at X. Selfishness. Losing. No, it's not losing because everyone messes up. It's how they react to losing. I don't love the word loser, but I think if I had to give a definition, it would be when someone gives up trying to grow and learn while embracing being toxic and unhappy. Constantly blaming others for their shortcomings, poor performance and failed relationships. Hey dummy, look in the mirror. You're the one constant in all of these stories. Feeling the need to call others losers, while having a willful disregard of their own shortcomings. Or they don't like Shrek. Asking on Reddit what's the cause of being a loser. Being too nice, agreeable. Putting everyone on a pedestal of worship. And as the kids these days call it, simping. Edit typo. What is too nice? What if some of us are just good people by nature and can't help it? Edit. Or do you mean letting people walk all over you and not doing anything about it? You can be a good person and also know when to stand up for yourself. They're not mutually exclusive. Nice isn't bad. Too nice is bad. Yes. Letting people walk all over you and you doing nothing about it? In a nutshell, don't get taken advantage of and don't be afraid to ruffle some feathers. I'd say the people who are too nice aren't the losers. It's the people who take advantage of those who are nice that are the real losers. I disagree. If you let someone take advantage of you, you're worse off than those who take advantage. You can't change other people's behaviors, but you can change what you will and won't accept. I'm not advocating for people who take advantage, either. Those who act like they're better and superior to everyone else. If you make fun of something someone has no control over, paradoxically, someone who divides things between winning and losing, that sort of binary worldview, I think that's a defining characteristic of Trump's character. Strangely enough, if you look at the man's history, it's anything asterisk but asterisk. Every time he failed at something, he got back up and tried again or tried something different. Quitting because it didn't work is actually not in the man's character. He likes the message because it plays well to the lowest common denominator. but his own actions don't show that to be the case. When a person refuses to recognize their own shortcomings, desperation for attention, blaming everyone else on your problems, not putting enough effort, and giving up quickly, not being honest with yourself, make someone feel bad. When you feel bad, in a sum, just not growing up and behave like an egocentric kid. When is it time for chimpanzees and you're a monkey? Neglecting their responsibilities. Got a couple of couches, sleep on the love seat. Thinking that agreeing with an opinion is the same as doing something. Having a lesson repeatedly handed to them but failing to learn from it and blaming another party for their failures. They look down on the world when they haven't accomplished a single thing. By having the username GoodTaco1013. Losing, duh. IDKY people here are trying to make it deeper than it actually is, lol. Being unnecessarily rude to people. They lose much more than they win. Failure is natural, but having a with-out ratio worse 110 is probably where loserdom begins. I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas Edison. Having their Reddit name be Mr_STO0PID. Having poor social awareness can make people think that they look down on others while having accomplished nothing themselves. Not smoking or drinking, not going clubbing every Saturday, not boasting the new iPhone, and so on. Sarcasm, of course. But the sad thing is, some people will agree with me, consume product and get excited for next product. Our Reddit moment. I think an adult who is just immature out of stubbornness or anger, who refuses to be independent, not for any good reason but just out of selfishness. Someone who constantly blames the world and others for their problems instead of self-reflecting. No one is a loser. It's a nasty mentality have. People who call others losers have no compassion. One-upping, blaming someone else when it's clearly their fault, thinking of himself as a victim on every situation. Somebody who never loses because they never try at anything. Where they mooch off other people, don't support themselves, for no valid reason, and blame anything but themselves for their problems. Where someone doesn't even make the effort or try to improve their lives. People who mistreat their pets. Not being first. Second place is just first place loser. When they answer questions on Reddit. Oh wait, sad face. Getting a false sense of accomplishment by stroking your ego. Forgetting to wipe. According to the president, disagreeing with the president. Fuck President Shitstain. Their inability to give people something remotely to like about them and find something that gives people reasons to want to be around them. Sure, you can have all the fame and money you want, but as we know, most of those people are idiotic and asshole people. Where the only people they attract are similarly minded of their kind, they're still a loser, even morally. Following your friends in doing things even when you don't want to. Not being able to take responsibility for their actions. Bullying. Everyone is being really judgmental with their answers. The true losers are people with Reddit. Someone who makes self-deprecating jokes into self-deprecating facts. Underscore. Loser is just an emotive propaganda term used to shame people. Not because they consciously and deliberately set out to hurt, harm or demean the dignity of others, but simply because they have irritating, annoying, cringy, or otherwise uncool traits. It's shaming language and nothing more. Yeah, that's kind of the point, but when people don't respect boundaries, i.e. telling a friend that you've recognized much conflict in the relationship and would like more personal time to work on yourself, their response is calling you horrible names and getting angry. Disrespecting boundaries is a huge indication of the other person utilizing your non-boundaries for their own gain, instead of loving the person for who they are. Loser. Not doing the absolute bare minimum to be a decent person. It's completely free to hold the door open for someone or give out a compliment every once in a while. It's also free to not go out of your way to make someone's day worse. Procreating with different women and not supporting the monsieur. taking advantage of someone by attacking their insecurities. That's just strategy though. Losing. When they lose. Not winning at things. And being a twat when driving. When they're so scared of losing they don't even try. Losing. Life isn't made of only one game, thankfully. I was always picked last for teams. I wore my sister's jeans. I was a loser kid. And the teachers didn't care. They just left me sitting there. I don't know what I did. But since then, how the tides have turned. 'Cause I used to be the loser kid, who always ran away and hid. No one took the time to know me. The kick me sign was always on me. Now everybody wants to know what I do and where I go. At least they won't forget me. 'Cause I live with Miss Mackenzie. Greater than busted loser kid. Rudeness. The person is irresponsible, unreliable, throw-in, undependable. 2. Gamble. Gambling is fun. You take little monies and turn them into big monies. According to this thread, I am a total loser. Haha, JK, it's not news to me. They're monsieur. Someone not liking them. Being human. Not winning. Loss. It sounds like a joke, but it really is that simple. Whoever loses is in that specific case a loser. The good thing is that we all suffer a variety of wins and losses. Even if it sometimes seems like there are far more losses than wins. They don't find their own enjoyment in life, but rather try to enjoy what others dictate as enjoyable. Inability to take responsibility for themselves. I get that people fall in hard times and might need help occasionally. But only a real loser takes advantage of others and doesn't back on their feet. Hypocrisy and acting unkind. Spending all their time on Reddit. Oh. A loser is someone who loses when they constantly make themselves better than everyone, acting like they are the kings and queens of the world. Just being bratty, being a Karen, jumps through your window, me, quote, and shouted, me, single quote, dot, can you come here quick? Thanks so much, officer, quote. In high school, being unpopular is enough. Later, it's a belief in a pattern of losing which eventually becomes reality. A person who projects their insecurities onto others and does that so much that in some twisted part of their mind it's your fault and not theirs for whatever happened in their life. Bad attitude. When they call themselves superior over asshole opinions. If they call someone a loser. Not being a winner. Scrolling Reddit instead of doing their laundry. My jeans can wait. I've done my laundry, so I can't even relax now. I was making fun of myself. I've actually done my laundry for today, but I'm bad about letting it pile up. Not apologizing for mistakes. Too many people in my life like that. Unfortunately, they're mostly family. If they're anything like me, opting for immediate, easy failure rather than going through a tough time for any success in life. Society. People who will simp, excuse the layman's language, or praise a celebrity or athlete at their school. That person will never care about you. Don't love the monsieur. Being me. When they lose, obviously. Do they have nothing? Live with their parents, and claim to be self-made. Do they blame society or others for the stupid life choices they made? These all coincide. Do they get upset seeing you successful? If so, they are a loser. Littering. If you don't hold on to that trash, then you're the trash. One-upping and constantly talking over everyone. A loser is a person that never puts any effort into anything. Lazy, selfish, ignorant. Had many friends when I was a teen that slowly became losers. Someone who lacks integrity and values appearances over reality. On the surface they might even look great, but once you get to know what they're actually like, it becomes obvious. Lack of self-discipline. The people I know with the biggest problems fail to see that only they can change themselves. Someone who lives in a fantasy world where everything's just fine. People born into significant wealth who act like they earned it and have a right to it even though they did nothing but win the birth lottery. What they do with that wealth is their business. But it's when they start talking down to other people with the whole I'm frugal and live on only 20k a year, so you should be able to. 2. Spiel when their parents are still paying for all their necessities. You just want to smack the smug off their ugly mugs. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.